Hello, welcome back for the fourth installment. I think that's what I called it even in my little description. But my fourth live reading the book is called "The Way of the Fertile Soul: 10 Ancient Chinese Secrets to Tap into a Woman's Creative Potential," and it's by Randine Lewis Ph.D. L.Ac, which I'm not even certain what that means. um but man, I'm really digging this book, and I want to get through it this week. And so here I am again on the Friday night. Okay, so we are into the 7th chapter here, Secret 7. Use your emotions to revitalize your life. Trust your emotions. Praise and blame, gain and loss, pleasure and sorrow come and go like the wind. To be happy, rest like a great tree in the midst of them all. A Kan Cha, or a Kan Cha. I'm going to read it again. Praise and blame, gain and loss, pleasure and sorrow come and go like the wind. To be happy, rest like a great tree in the midst of them all. A Kan Cha. According to traditional Chinese medicine, emotions are simply reactions to the environment, and no matter what they are, they're good and natural and serve us best when they are experienced, expressed, and let go. A complete range of emotions is necessary for responding to the world and for connecting with ourselves as well as with others. But like blocked chi, unexpressed or squelched emotions cause obstructions in the body and create resistance that wreaks havoc on perspective, relationships, and health. When you have a thought, it is usually accompanied by an emotion, which is a response to an event or your interpretation of an event. Emotions are literally energy in motion. They carry charges that affect the body. Joy and elation are felt as high, positive charges, and anger and fear are felt as low, negative charges. When these charges aren't able to move, say, for example, when something isn't working out the way you want it to, they can become stuck in the body, a tight knot of bound energy. This tightness becomes a source of stress and drains away energy. To release bound up emotions, you need to open up the fist that is holding them tight, releasing the emotion's grip physically, mentally, and emotionally. The hypothalamus, our main endocrine control center in the brain, is an extremely sensitive relay station for transmitting emotionally charged messages from the brain to the pituitary gland and onto the body's endocrine glands, impacting almost all of our hormonal and physical responses. The more bound up in layers of thought emotions become, the more deeply they are stuck inside. Emotions such as guilt, shame, jealousy, and regret may become wrapped in a knot of negativity that has to be untied layer by layer, with consistent work and plenty of patience. Fortunately, no matter how strong these emotions are, they can be released and gently let go, restoring health and harmony. Hey, welcome, Eternal Echoes. Welcome, welcome. Hey, no worries. Sweet dreams. Maybe I can help lull you to sleep. Okay, how emotions affect our organs. Health comes from returning to stillness. When our emotions are triggered, they are like trees moving in the wind. If the trees resist the wind's force, they can break and fall. But if they move with the wind, they become part of the music of the universe, eventually returning to their original still position, healthy and alive. Oh, excuse me. Like trees, we must experience the force of our emotions and move with them, not resist, but yield. Then we must express the emotions, let them go, and return to a state of balance. This is the natural way. A tree does not say, "I don't want this wind today. Perhaps if I stand still enough, it won't move me." But most of us would like to deny the wind. We don't want to experience changes that evoke powerful emotions such as sadness and anger. We want to control our surroundings in an effort to experience only pleasant emotions and make our own happy music. All of us need emotions, all of our emotions, to respond appropriately to our world and to relate to ourselves and others. To prevent suffering caused by squelching or harboring excess emotion, we need to flow with the natural way and always return to a state of balance and calm. When our environment calls for a response, it produces tension that evokes an emotion, each of which is governed by one of the elements. When a response is called for, the qi of the particular organ system reacts to the situation. In the Chinese medical text, the Neijing, the Yellow Emperor asks his physician, Qi Bo, to explain which emotions are governed by which organs and what happens as a result of resisting the emotions or hanging on to them for too long. Qi Bo's answers, which I enlarge on here, will help you understand the link between emotions and well-being. Emily, welcome. Chrissy, yay! Mwah, mwah. So yeah, moving forward, this is so cool. Welcome, y'alls. When there is fear, qi descends. The kidneys, through the adrenal glands, govern the instinct for self-preservation, the most basic energy for staying alive. Their job is to stand guard, pay attention, and look out for danger. Normally, their energies promote caution, self-restraint, prudence, and withdrawal. But when fear dominates someone's life, their qi plummets into near collapse. This happens because the kidneys' water energies, which draw down and condense under proper free-flowing circumstances, are shocked by fear into sudden contraction, preventing energies from moving upward at all. An acute example of this process is someone experiencing a severe fright and wetting themselves. If fear continues to rule and cause a restraint, If fear continues to rule and caution and restraint become a way of life, these energies become pathologic and retreat too far in and down, eventually severing the access between the heart and the kidneys. The festering energies then create a void in the heart and spirit, which fills with timidity, uncertainty, agitation, and a lack of vitality. Physically, this void can lead to symptoms like anxiety or heart palpitations. A criminal lives this way, in a constant state of panic, afraid of being caught. You may sometimes live this way too, and feel the damaging results. To overcome such harmful emotions, it's important to distance yourself from them. Reflective, though, like a mirror that reveals what's around the corner, lets you see more clearly and objectively, making the space in which you can develop the courage to face your fears. Hey, Desert Rose, welcome, welcome. I'm just getting into it. When there is anger, the qi rises up. Healthy wood or liver energies are fresh and alive and necessary to overcome resistance. But when these energies are blocked or imbalanced, resistance to what is or what is supposed to be is fueled, causing frustration and stress because we rarely can change the way things are. Frustration produces aggravation, resentment, and anger. Anger thrusts up and out. This is why you can feel people's anger even if they don't express it. When anger, either excessive or expressed, obstructs the qi of the liver meridian, it produces tension, which leads to increased heat. Boyle's law tells us that when pressure increases in any given volume, the temperature also rises, in the body as well as in laboratory experiments. Anger can produce internal pressure, which also converts to heat. The heat rises and increases, resulting in red face and eyes, a raised voice, headaches, and hypertension, which in the long run damages organs and exhausts vitality. Long-term tension can also stiffen the liver, reducing its ability to transform hormones, proteins, toxins, and emotions. During the premenstrual period, agitation can mount, and migraine headaches, breast pain, irritability, and an overall feeling of malaise, I never said it out loud, can develop. But anger does not have to be negative and damaging to the body. When it is expressed directly and completely to release the liver pressure, it can be a beneficial force to help us overcome barriers and leave unhealthy relationships or work situations. Several ideograms from the Chinese language describe this movement. The most common character shows the movement of qi under pressure, like the weather, like the weather. Another depicts the heart and brain on fire. One symbol shows a fish transforming into a bird, breaking through the water and rising up in the air. This implies a violence proper to all beings, the force necessary to overcome resistance and to allow the birth process. Another ideogram illustrates a heart and a woman under someone's hand, implying slave-like treatment and injustice. Anger can be beneficial and positive here. It is not damaging when it helps us recognize something inherently wrong and is used to break the bond holding the corruption in place. To release suppressed anger, communicate your frustration about the situation that's angering you. Internal dialogue that merely justifies your point of view fuels the conflict. Feel inside to see if you are inspired to thoughts or actions that make you feel better. Would it help to talk to someone about it, meditate about it, journal about it, stomp, cry, or scream? And finally, when you have found a way to release, it will allow you to accept what remains and from that place, find compassion for yourself and others. Let everything else go. Hey, welcome, Heidi. Yay, yay, yay. Awesome-o. Okay, let's see here. Where there is obsessive thought, chi is knotted. Interesting. Obsessive thought is any negative thought, consideration, reflection, or form of attention that cycles around and around without producing some advancement. When it doesn't result in a beneficial shift in consciousness or inspiration to action, thought can become tangled, with no beginning and no end, a maze in which someone can get lost, dragging around personal troubles and the world's difficulties. This internal oppression becomes wedged, preventing qi from circulating properly and injuring the body's organs' ability to function. When the heart, the empress of all our organ systems, falls prey to this internal angst and constant recollection, its natural outward movement becomes thwarted. It becomes caught up in its own image, like Narcissus, and can only think of itself. The self, disconnected from its true nature, perceives only lack. The world, then, is not seen as a place of endlessly abundant glory and magnificence, but merely as a means to serve the self and its insatiable needs. In this bound state, the heart loses its ability to love, and a person loses their ability to be her true self. To move past the knotted state of obsessive thought, find the spark of the divine within the highest aspect of the earth energies, which allows them to lift you upward, lift you towards your highest purpose, and then move out into the world to express it. Living from the soul, which is outward, keeps you from the contracted state of living merely for self-fulfillment, which is a leftover, immature perception from a life not purposefully lived. Cool sentence. Your thoughts create your reality, but they don't create you. You are not your beliefs. You are so much more, and you are an expression of incorruptible spirits. Ooh. Wow. Awesome. Okay, so when there is sadness, the chi disappears. I better take a sip. Because the metal energies initiate tightening, creating an energy vortex within the chest, excessive sadness can become a vacuum, reducing chi and hindering its movement. To people in the depths of grief, it may feel as though if they gave into it, there will be no coming back. And there isn't. There is only going through and coming out on the other side. Right? We're always changing. Larry and Jessica found their 21-year-old son in their room after he had killed himself. Nobody could ease their pain, and they found they had no choice but to go through it. And in doing so, they discovered a depth in themselves and each other that they wouldn't have known if not for this loss. And this gift that they learned is something they can share with others in need of healing. While we resist grief and loss like no other emotion because it reminds us of our mortality, we need to accept, experience, and let go to enable chi to flow. When we surrender to the pain of loss, sadness, and grief, we heal ourselves and emerge stronger than we were before. When there is excessive elation, the chi becomes loose. Like all the other emotions, joy too can become excessive. When we overemphasize the importance of outside stimulation to make us happy, we can spend too much time seeking pleasure and excitement and lose the ability to know what makes us truly happy because we're not connecting to the inherent joy within. We trust less in internal cues and depend more on external consensus. In other words, we live from the outside in rather than the inside out. But when we find the joy within, we don't need to seek joy elsewhere. Because the heart houses our direct connection to the divine, it provides us with a natural feeling of ecstasy that can be endlessly replenished and needs no outside stimulus. An open, balanced heart expresses joy, contentment, and gratitude for life. It lets us live in harmony with ourselves as well as the world around us. As the heart pumps blood throughout our body, the spirit pours love beyond the body and gives us a sense of oneness with the universe and the knowledge that we are part of divine creation. Barbara arrived at the retreat as sweet as she could be on the surface, but angry and repressed inside. She made a fuss when anything wasn't to her liking and constantly complained to my staff, though she acted like an angel around me. When I worked with Barbara, I learned that she had been sexually abused as a small child and that the anger she still held inside over what had happened to her had seared her blood, not allowing it to flow. Wow, what a sentence. Her treatment plan consisted of expressing and releasing her anger and finding her real sexual identity. With time, she was able to do this and become a counselor for abused women. Equalizing emotional energies. Women don't heal through the accumulation of mental knowledge, they heal with their bodies. So when unexpressed or excessive emotions accumulate and obstruct chi, women need to move their bodies to express and release the emotions and reclaim their vitality. I use the following movement exercise to help women release obstructed emotions. Ooh, this is cool. I'm telling you, I know having physicality, like working out on a regular basis, and it's improving everything about my mental capacity. Thank you, universe, for the strength to keep doing that. Okay, so flowing with the world. You may do the entire exercise at the same time or the relevant part when the particular emotion reveals itself to you. As you act out the movements, you may want to play music that helps you express the emotions. The process may evoke some difficult feelings, but if you are willing to trust that the discomfort will pass, your inner healer will resolve what no therapist can. Remember that there is nothing wrong with any emotion, and it's not necessary or helpful to chastise yourself for how you're feeling at any moment, even if you feel you've lost ground and aren't feeling as joyful as you were. Your emotions are important, ever-fluctuating tools of self-evaluation and guidance, and as natural as breathing. But how you handle them makes all the difference to your health and well-being, so use these exercises to help keep the energy flowing. When there is fear, lift the energies within from descent to ascent. When you notice fear in yourself, lie down on your side with your knees and hips bent, curled up into a ball. Breathe deeply into your source as you consider how fear draws you in to protect yourself. Feel the sense of fear you have about anything in your life that makes you feel unsafe. Acknowledge the fear, breathe into it, see it for what it is, and find your foundation of safety within. What can help you rise above the fear? Often, fear is rooted in not feeling deserving or in a feeling that someone is going to do something that will negatively impact your life. If this is so, look for ways to soothe yourself, remembering that well being is your natural state. Know that when you stay balanced, when you stay aligned with the universe, and nothing that happens, then dang it. Okay. Know that when you stay balanced, then you stay aligned with the universe, and nothing that happens can shake your divine connection for long. Little by little, continuing to breathe deeply, bring yourself from this spineless, contracted fetal position into a strong, upright stance. When there is anger, let off steam. Wherever you feel internal tension, frustration, anger, or fury, breathe rapidly and shallowly into that part of your body. Then exhale forcefully. Shake out the anger, yell at it, scream it out, stomp it out. Do whatever your anger inspires you to do until you have released all that built up tension. Then allow yourself to collapse and feel for that place of pure compassion for yourself and the original source of your anger. Ooh. Okay. When there is obsessive thought, untie the knot of bound chi. Do you have discomfort in your belly? A gut reaction to stress? Bring all the neurons, the cables of tangled thought, to that spot deep inside your belly. Feel the tension condense into a tightly closed fist that tries to hold onto something that doesn't really exist. See the fist in your mind's eye and clench it even tighter. Then slowly open the fist, finger by finger, unclenching the hand and letting the tension go until it is just an open palm, receptive to nourishment and fresh new options. When there is sadness, bring the chi back. With your arms folded over your chest, feel the loss, whatever it is. As you inhale, experiencing the pain and loneliness, wrap your fingertips over your breastbone to release the energy. Then open your arms wide. Exhale and let them go. Let the part of you that is attached to grief expire with the breath as you open your arms. Then, when you feel the sense of release, exaggerate the exhalation. Feel the emptiness between the exhalation and the next inhalation, and notice how your breath returns naturally, filling your lungs with acceptance and love. Receive the love that comes with the spirit of your breath. When there is excessive excitement, reel in the chi. If you find that your quest for external fulfillment is causing you to lose touch with your body, bring it inside. Feel the loving spirit and send it to penetrate every cell in your body. Love yourself and forgive others as well. Through the blood and your spirit, feel the beat of your heart and the love it spreads. Send the river of love, unconditional and unrestricted, to the depth of your source, to the pure potential within you. Then invite all other energies to join this powerful force to help you recognize your true self. Realize that you are overcoming the conditioning that has prevented you from reaching your highest state of being, and through love and compassion, feel the miracle that you are. Such connection can help slow down your activity to a pace that is balanced with stillness. And there's a little poem by the Buddha. In the end, these things matter the most. How well did you love? How fully did you love? How deeply did you learn to let go? The Buddha. Ooh. Jenny, welcome. Awesome. Thanks for being here with me, y'alls. We'll see how far we get tonight. Awesome. Okay, so that was chapter 7, and now we're getting into the secret 8 here. Secret 8. Live vertically instead of horizontally. Alignment. Jade-like purity has left a secret of freedom in the lower world. Congeal the spirit in the layer of energy, and you'd suddenly see white snow flying in midsummer, the sun blazing in the water at midnight. Going along harmoniously, you roam in the heavens, then return to absorb the virtues of the receptive. The secret of the golden flower. Wow, I like it. An ancient Taoist text, The Secret of the Golden Flower, describes the miraculous exchange between fire and water. When the fire of our spirit mingles with the depth of our source, the resulting power enables us to spiral upward and transcend the material world, to live on the plane of the phenomenal. As discussed earlier and illustrated in the horizontal vertical grid, the horizontal plane is the doing plane, where source and spirit manifest through the material world. Projects, work, family, life, creativity, thought, word, and deed. The vertical plane is the plane of being, where our divine nature manifests, aligning itself with our highest spirit to let our radiance shine through. The vertical conduit of fire and water. Water is the medium that joins heaven and earth. It rains down from the clouds and, through the power of the rain, evaporates from the earth to start the cycle over again. In the same way, water connects the lower body's energies with the fire of the upper body, joining our potential to our highest expression, enabling us to live our destiny. The fire-water connection reveals itself most notably between the first menstrual period and the last. At menarche, man, I don't know how to say that, and I'm a woman, son of a gun. Menarche, the onset of menses. The heart brings blood and its life-giving spirit to the uterus, the palace of the child, and endows it with the ability to bring forth life. At menopause, the end of menses, the uterus gives the gift of life back to the heart so that its love and wisdom can be shared with the world. That's awesome. The channel of communication between the heart and the kidney essence, represented by the creative powers of the uterus, must be open for the spark of life to be ignited in any form. The void in the center of the heart and the void in the center of the uterus are the sources of women's strength and conduits of the universal process of creation. When obstructions exist, life energy can stagnate, but with proper attention and honoring, our inherent creativity can once again flow. Menarche, I don't know if I'm saying it right. The reproductive years, menopause, kidney essence, heart fire. Here's this little diagram. All right, the menstruation process. According to the I Ching, 7 is an auspicious number, and we can see its importance when we look at typical female maturation. Women typically mature in 7-year periods. In times when women were in touch with nature and themselves, most girls lost their baby teeth around age 7 and started menstruating at age 14. The age today can be as young as the single digits. By 21, their hormonal, reproductive, and musculoskeletal systems are developed, and by 28, their vital energy, blood, and organs are at a peak condition. Then, at age 35, women's skin begins to change. The complexion wanes, and hair color begins to fade around 42. Menstruation ceases around 49. Though today the average is closer to 52, and the physique becomes more delicate. The maturation process is revered by Eastern cultures because of the wisdom gained through experience. Women entering the revered states of menopause feel surges of heat as their fire energies shift upward to fuel their transition to the highest level of heart-centered wisdom. Wow. Oh, cool. Okay. When many Western women resist menopause, matriarchal cultures see it as a time when women increase their power. In Chinese, in Chinese, there is no word for menopausal symptoms because the process isn't resisted. The Chinese believe that heat or discomfort is natural and should be accepted. A rose does not resist the opening of its petals. According to this system, resistance disappears when you treasure nature's ability to allow you to unfold into your most radiant bloom. Ooh, that's so cool. I wrote a little saying about a poem, about a rose. Or I wonder if I can find it real quick. I don't know. It's somewhere in this journal. It seems like really along the same lines as that. We'll see if I find it quickly. If not, okay, yeah. I did find it quickly. A rose doesn't think about when to bloom. It knows. It is. Every rose blooms in its perfect time. It does not compete or fight. Cycles come and go. We live in the flow. Bam. I don't know. I was inspired one day. Okay, so where am I? Karen, yay, awesome, so cool. Welcome, y'all. And anybody listening out there, welcome. Right, Chrissy? I feel you. I'm thankful for this book. I'm pumped for the next book too. We'll see if I can do a weekly book because I love it. All right. Radiant bloom. Okay. But it takes tremendous energy to fuel this vital process. To enable your body to function at its best during menopause, I recommend eating a healthy diet, nourishing your source, and drinking additional water so the kidneys have an abundant supply. While this natural condition is not an illness and doesn't need to be healed per se, certain herbal blends such as black cohosh and epimedium, interesting, I don't know what epimedium is, and supplements such as calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D can help support the body as it experiences these changes. Though Western medicine is still undecided on the effectiveness of these natural therapies, many of them are supported by long histories of traditional use. Before trying these therapies or making changes to existing treatments, be sure to check with a naturopath or other healthcare professional who is knowledgeable about natural medicine to avoid interactions between supplements and medications. That's so funny to me too. Like everyone, like we have, because of modern society, it's like we have to, what am I trying to say here? It's like we always have to like cover our own asses. Like they say that there's no modern proof of this. And it's, I don't know why we do, I don't know. I sound like a nut job. It's just that all of this other stuff has like centuries behind it. And then we're like, nothing recently, though. Nothing recently. Let's just be clear. Let's just be clear about that. We just got to make sure we cover our own asses here. Okay. All right. And hey, I mean, I know that there are awesome new discoveries all the time, right? But if it's not broke, don't fix it. Okay. Otherwise, there's like an agenda, I'm pretty sure. Okay, so the dynamics of fire and water. Fire is the ultimate yang element. It is bright and moves upward and outward. But with enough fuel, fire can burn out of control, devouring everything in its path. The ego, like fire, can burn out of control when it feeds on itself too much. It becomes an insatiable flame. Water is the ultimate yin element. When permitted, it goes deeper and deeper, always seeking darkness and depth. But water is also associated with fear and can become a tool of the ego, supporting its false need to protect itself. Then the water element can approach the world as if everyone in it is its enemy, waiting to drain or pollute it. Fire and water keep each other in check, as do their associated organs, the heart and the kidneys. The kidneys provide coolness, moisture, and nourishment to balance the heart's outward dynamic. But if there is conflict between the two, either of these elements can take control. When fire burns out of control because the kidneys are unable to cool and nourish properly, you may become restless and unfocused. You may also lose perspective because your emotions are erratic or tend towards anxiety because your spirit has no nourishment or reason to come home to the heart. Conversely, when the water element is too abundant, it may put out the heart's fire. You may become depressed and begin to spiral down. We in the West tend to favor light and brightness and reject everything that we consider dark and negative. You know, we look for external happiness and elation and try to avoid being melancholy by covering up and ignoring negative feelings rather than using the information they give us to help us reach again for connection. You know, we reject yin or darkness, but it is yin that puts lightness into perspective. As we look to move to even higher planes of vertical living, we need to accept all of ourselves, both the light and the dark, and know that no emotion is ever inappropriate. By learning to shine the light of our spirit on all that we have hidden from ourselves and from the world, it's possible to rise above the debris buried in our deepest caverns and find grace. Amen. Rebalancing the vertical energies. Holding on rigidly to familiar horizontal energies, the consuming doing actions that gratify the ego, blocks women from reaching their spiritual potential. For optimum health and fulfillment, uncover and nurture these areas of vertical bodily energy: the lower abdomen, the midsection, and the chest and head. As explained in Chapter 1, the lowest area is the foundation of life, or source energy. That houses your innate talents and our ability to create and reproduce. The middle area, or soul energy, spreads horizontally across the center of the body and enables us to express ourselves in the world through the thoughts and emotions, words and deeds, and to receive expressions from others. The highest area, or spirit energy, connects us to our spirit and urges us to manifest our best selves and be unconditionally joyful. Calm, happy lives result when the three energies are balanced vertically. But most women expend an overwhelming amount of their soul energy living horizontally, involved in too many external activities, obsessed with their thoughts, and not nurturing their core self and spirit. You know what it feels like to live this way, drained rather than vital and fulfilled. In order to tune to your inner vertical connection, your energies can be rebalanced by making lifestyle changes. These include setting and respecting boundaries that relate to all the things you do, eating healthfully, whole organic foods that won't stress your digestive and metabolic systems, and practicing breathing techniques that connect your spirit with your source. Supporting your vertical growth has the added benefit of protecting health, as your alignment helps reduce stress and thereby illness. While thousands of years ago, the stress response was essential to survival, today we have neither the constant need to run for our lives nor to live a life dictated by the senses. Today we have the opportunity to live from spirit in a state of abundance. Raising above obsessive desires. While desires are natural, they can prevent movement up the vertical plane. They can keep you bound in a pattern of feeling deficient, then acting to satisfy cravings from a place of disempowerment, then wanting more because of increased desire, but feeling even more powerless to achieve your dreams. When yearnings are aligned with the movement of your heart and are in harmony with your surroundings, they can heighten and add to your spiritual connection. But when you hold desires that feel enormously important, but fearfully and frustratingly unattainable at the same time, you actually block their fulfillment. Even the purest, most virtuous of desires can turn into a prison when you are so attuned to an outcome that you lose connection with who you are and what you really want in life. For example, most people's desires are to be happy, spiritually enlightened, healthy, and so forth. All our yearning relates to that overriding desire somehow, but it's often easy for people to lose sight of the big picture and insist that it must happen through a particular relationship, job, or goal. People in this position are like the archer who was overly attached to hitting his mark, about whom the Chinese philosopher Chang Tzu once said, "The need to win drains him of his power." Have you ever wanted a particular romantic relationship so much that your excessive longing blocked its happening and caused misery rather than fulfillment? Have you found that when you are able to stay open to any turn a relationship let's try that again. Have you found that when you are able to stay open to any turn a relationship might take without needing a particular outcome, it unfolds much more harmoniously? The well-known example of women who desperately want a baby getting pregnant after they have adopted a child and released the focus on pregnancy is the perfect illustration of how obsession interferes with fulfillment. Here are some examples of how unfulfilled desires can become obsessive. So, pure desire, baby is hungry, attempt to fulfill, cry isn't answered, result, even food won't satisfy. So, a teenage girl wants a boyfriend. The girl focuses on a boy who isn't interested. The girl becomes obsessed, feels inadequate, jealous of other women. Woman wants a child. No pregnancy ensues. Woman must have a child at all costs, even at the expense of her relationships, feelings of self-worth. Woman desires love from husband. Husband is emotionally unavailable. Woman has affair, satisfies lust, but still craves love. Baby is hungry. Okay, wait. How can you avoid these obsessive desires? Here is how the above examples might play out when the person does find fulfillment. Hey, 30 Acre, Genevieve. Yeah, you guys, welcome. Awesome, awesome. So this is if the person does find fulfillment. The baby is hungry, the cry is answered, food is very satisfying. Teenage girl wants a boyfriend, continues to enjoy her own interest, retains her control over her happiness, attracts someone who sees this in her. Woman wants a child, may try to get pregnant, but also spends time enjoying children and family, friends, and her other creative interests. And then she has regular satisfying interactions with children and or with her creative output, which makes her relaxed, happy, and more likely to conceive. Women desires love from husband. The husband is emotionally unavailable. Woman focuses on restoring her love for herself. Husband is either attracted back to her from her lovely place of connection, or she can clearly see that it's time to move on from him. You know, I like that. When trying to let go of an obsession that already has a strong hold over you, it can help to shift your focus away from the object or subject of your desire and remember that you get to choose whether you align with your desire or not. Let's look more clearly at how that works with an unfulfilled wish to conceive. You may replace the word child with any other desired object. The same process applies. You desire a child purely. 2. Unfulfilled attempts to have a child lead to resistance, feelings of fear, anger, and deprivation, spending time on negative thoughts, worry about not being able to get pregnant, jealousy over another woman's pregnancy adds to the resistance, worry, stress, and a horizontal attempt to control your desires, which closes off the source, uterus, from the life-giving powers of the heart. Or 3, pure knowing that what is essential will come to you. in some form or another, as long as you pay attention to how you feel and stay open. This process actually opens the spirit source axis, aligning you with the universe's ability to fulfill your desires. Take time to meditate and spend time noticing and appreciating the many blessings of life, from the most commonplace, flushing toilets in parentheses, to the most personal, how your pet looks, how your pet looks at you while getting stroked. All right, so mamas. Um, if you correct imbalances in step one, if you correct imbalances at step one, the longing will remain pure, undiluted by fears and frustration, and there will be no resistance, or resistance will drop away. In the example above, in other words, if you try to catch yourself when you start to fall into insecure thoughts about having a child and instead focus on gratitude for all that you have rather than worry about what you don't, resistance will melt. How you choose to respond to unfulfilled desires makes all the difference, not for the chances of your future fulfillment, but because it means you are living a happier life right now. If you stay in the precious moment and take care to align yourself with your source and spirit, your heart energies will stay open, allowing your chi and blood to flow smoothly. Practicing the breath exercise later in this chapter will help you more easily return to a state of calm. The key to ensuring that a pure desire doesn't become tainted and lead to obsession lies in learning how to let your mind become still. Stillness, like water, reflects all that is, yet does not become the things reflected. Pure perception can happen only in stillness, after the waves of emotion have been calmed. When the energy of an emotion has been mastered, the meridians release it, like rivers leading out to sea. There, in the current of life, joy is naturally felt and expressed, as as the Confucian philosopher Zunzi said, no one who pays undue attention to external objects can fail to feel anxiety in her mind. No woman whose behavior departs from true principles can fail to be endangered by external forces. No woman who is endangered by external forces can fail to feel terror in her mind. If the mind is full of anxiety and terror, then, though the mouth be crammed with delicious food, it will not recognize the flavor. Though the ear listens to the music of bells and drums, it will not recognize the sound. Though the eye lights upon embroidered patterns, it will not recognize their form. And though the body is clothed in warm, light garments and rests upon fine woven mats, it will feel no ease. In such a case, a woman may be confronted by all the loveliest things in the world and yet be unable to feel any gratification. Even if she should feel a moment's gratification, she could never completely take off her anxieties and fears. Hence, although she confronts all the loveliest things in the world, she is overwhelmed with worry, and although she enjoys all the benefits of the world, she knows only loss. But if the mind is calm and at ease, then even beauties that are less than mediocre will gratify the eye. Even sounds that are less than mediocre will gratify the ear. A meal of vegetables, a soup of boiled greens will gratify the mouth. Robes of coarse cloth, shoes of coarse hemp will give ease to the body. A narrow room with rush blinds, a straw carpet, and a table and mat will give comfort to the form. Hence, one may not be able to enjoy all the most beautiful things in the world, and yet she can still increase her joy. Thus, this is what it means to value the self and make other things work for you. Nice. When you release a specific object of your desire through acceptance and surrender, the focus let's just take a sip for a second. Maybe rub my eyes. It is. It's all the same for the masculine. When you release a specific object of your desire through acceptance and surrender, and focus only on the larger desire of loving and caring for yourself, you will be fed by the earth's power of intention and transformed by wood into the unlimited abundance of the spirit. Entrusting the desire to nature's divine grace will allow the divine to see the desire's fulfillment and open you to the creator's power of the universe love. Reaching your highest destiny. In the depth of winter, I finally learned that within me there lay an invincible summer. Albert Camus. As you've seen throughout the book, I've written about the spiral journey up through 3 levels of existence: source, soul, and spirit, that enable you to live joyfully, express your true nature, and reach your highest destiny. In Chinese, the 3 levels are called Jing, Qi, Qi, and Shen. Hopefully that's all pronounced right. And are thought of as anchoring, aligning, and adapting in the way of the fertile soul. Anchoring. Source energies anchor you to your innate self, the gifts, talents, genetics, and constitution you are born with. By anchoring yourself to your own true nature, the good and bad, the light and dark, you develop and grow as long as you remain flexible enough to change your response to your changing world. Aligning. When properly anchored, your heart spirit aligns you to your purpose and dreams. Aligning allows you to learn how to best make use of your talents, what to let into your life, and how to live passionately from your spirit. With alignment comes the ability to make your own music rather than dance to someone else's tune, and yet live in harmony with the world. Adapting. When aligned, you can respond authentically to your environment and life circumstances. Interactions become pure, unhindered by selfish motives, and possibilities abound, resulting in thought, reflection, and action inspired by alignment. When you have adapted to your world, you become serene and undisturbed because you have tapped into your inner wisdom, which has nothing to do with schooling, intelligence, compliance, or social expectations. You know intuitively what to do and feel. You know intuitively what to do and feel, supported by the universe, whose law you now live in harmony with. Your soul essence, the divine, in accordance with the anchored source and an aligned spirit. This state of being contains unadulterated promise, hope in its purest form. Having hope is not wishing for material things or that you think will make you happier, like being skinnier or having a certain partner. Having hope is being open to whether wonderful gifts. Having hope is being open to whatever wonderful gifts life brings you, trusting that it will unfold perfectly. Ha! Cool. Even if you experience something that feels like a setback, a miscarriage, losing a job, not qualifying for a grant or loan to go to school or start a business, nothing that has happened in the past need impact your future if you can keep honing your ability to return to that open state of possibility. When you live vertically, the energies of the horizontal plane support your vertical ascent. The vertical energies urge you to fulfill your highest potential rather than squandering your promise in material pursuits. At the apex of your existence, you live having turned the light around, a Taoist expression for turning your energy inward and giving birth to your true self. Turned the light around. Cool. To support your quest to live vertically, regularly practice the following meditation, which uses the senses of hearing and seeing to shine the spiritual light within. Meditation to turn the light around. Begin by sitting comfortably and taking some long, deep breaths. Bring your awareness behind the center of your eyes. Feel a connection between that point and the center of your head where the energies of your ears converge. In Taoist tradition, if you listen when there is no sound, what you hear is the universe, the sound of creation. So listen to the soundlessness of your breath and feel the power of the silence within. Notice how you can receive the information your senses provide you without interruption or judgment. If you find such thoughts creeping in, acknowledge them and then let them go and return attention to your breath. See with a deeper vision. Hear the deep silence. Smell the clear openness. Savor the taste of pleasure itself. Feel the gentle touch of your own life. Let your senses draw in the depths of your surroundings like the leaves of a tree turning to the sun, simply attracting the nectar of life. Open wider to receive more with absolutely no effort. Connect with the heavenly bodies, the sun and stars, and feel the connection between these fire energies and your heart. Open your heart as you draw in more warmth, and then breathe it down to your uterus to connect with a spark of the divine within. Allow your womb to receive the heart's warmth and to open up to its tremendous healing power. Drink in the warmth and become aware of any blockages preventing the reception of your love. If you discover any barriers, acknowledge them, thank them for their message, then release what is blocking your love and bring down more spirit. Open up to as much love as you can take, receiving the abundance of spirit into the void of your uterus, letting unlimited love unite with your divine source, your deepest sense of wisdom and deep knowing reside within your depths. Continue bringing the warm fire energies of the sun and stars down and letting them merge with the well within your own source until you feel that circuit has been completed deep within. Let the energies swirl, envisioning the red fire energies joining with the blue water energies to become one conjoined energy, purple at the center, red at the top, and blue at the bottom. The energy represents your true purpose, the reason you were born. Draw these energies into your core and go completely into your center, into the depth of your being, as if all of the fire energies above and water energies below are merging as sap in your core. Pull your attention back towards your spine, further away from the exterior, away from the branches and leaves of your external life situation, and allow them to fall to the ground and drop away. Turn your awareness within to your trunk and bring it down into the depths of your own roots, from the spine to your sacrum to your feet, connected to the ground, where minerals are absorbed and merge with the stillness within the frozen ground, where life waits patiently to be coaxed into new spring. As you send your own energy down into the earth, let yourself become as still as winter. When you feel the connections with the ground, know that you will receive whatever it is you need from Mother Earth, and let the fire of the Spirit's sunlight ignite and spark of the divine fire deep within, down through your roots. Awaken to visualize yourself turning toward the new dawn of the east, and turning away to release all that you wish to let rest in the west. As you spiral vertically to awaken into the summer of possibilities, reaching your most joyful goal. You are a wonder, and you hold the secrets of all creation within you, from the kernel of life hidden beneath the frozen earth to a budding flower, to an exploding star. And then it ends with a poem by Rumi. I died a mineral and became a plant. I died a plant and rose an animal. I died an animal and I was a man. Why should I fear when I was less by dying? Wow. Interesting, right? Dang. Oh my gosh. So hey, dare I? 9. Let's see how long 9 is. Hey, it's not so long. I think I'm going to get through 9 and then I'm going to call it a night. And then maybe, tomorrow night I'll do just this last little bit of this book. Okay. Yeah, because it's time to do some relaxing. I've been at this computer all day today. Mostly all day. Okay, so Secret 9. Recognize your... Maybe I shouldn't read this one. We'll see. Re-energize yourself by repatterning. Vitality. You must learn to be still in the midst of activity and to be vibrantly alive in repose. Mahatma Gandhi. That was one of my favorite autobiographies that I've read. Okay. Because we live in a yang-dominated society that values ambition and measurable success over stillness and introspection, we favor the mind and its external projections rather than nurturing and living from our yin energies. Repatterning can help restore balance in women who have lost theirs. Even patterns that have served us well can become our undoing if we don't let them go when we have outgrown them. For example, a woman may develop a healthy pattern of intolerance to an oppressive situation, and that resistance will allow her to find a way out, leaving a failed marriage, for example. If this experience empowers her to trust her natural inclinations and feel the universe's support, then she will reach a new place from which to spontaneously try creative solutions to other new challenges. If insecure about herself, she feels the world is hostile. She clings to the resistance that helped her before. However, after the situation changes, the resistance may turn into frustration, anger, bitterness, or resentment and start to fester, producing a toxic inner state. After learning to release emotions and address each of the energy tendencies in the body, the next step is repatterning harmful past conditioning. You have the tools to transform yourself into whatever it is you wish to become. Amen. Stressful patterns of the past will dissolve as you recreate yourself in accordance with nature and discover new energizing patterns. Just as a seed is transformed by the dark underground forces to joyfully emerge as a sprout, your transformation takes place in your depths. The following meditation exercises will enable you to reach the mysterious mother, that divine feminine potential that has been waiting within you, and uncover hidden difficulties, emerging transformed and renewed. Inviting the winds of change. Chinese medicine incorporates the concept of an initial wind, which not only accounts for internal shaking movements like twitches, but also initiates the alchemical transformation process, which can be seen when someone in a deep meditative state begins to shake. This tremendous force gives power from within, just as the earth restructures itself through earthquakes. The internal winds of change come from awareness. Ooh, right? Internal winds of change. Nice. Comes from awareness that things inside need to change. To start your transformation, invite the purification process by allowing your internal winds to blow and paying no attention to the external winds in your environment. Instead of blaming outside forces, let your internal wind help you reclaim your personal power. When you know you have control over the way you react to any situation, you can take full responsibility for all you do instead of avoiding, denying, or resisting reality in harmful ways, such as escaping through addictive behaviors or substances. In the depths of your being, water will transform you as the immense geyser of your true self erupts. As Lao Tzu tells us, you will be like water and go to the places loathed by. women, deep beyond knowing, still enough to awaken slowly into life, and you'll wear away into completion. Interest. I don't know if I understood that. Be like water and go to the places loathed by women, deep beyond knowing, still enough to awaken slowly into life, and you'll wear away into completion. I like it. Okay. To go to your depths and release the powerful winds of change within you, perform the following exercise regularly, being gentle with yourself throughout and remembering that there are no wrong responses. This is the complete process of inner alchemy, the pieces of which we have explored up to this point. Create a comfortable and sacred meditation space in your home, where your world becomes sacred, without and within. The divine will step in and help you reach your goals. The more you practice, the more you will become acquainted with your purifying inner depths. Journey through the body's inner universe. This exercise is best performed in a chair, with your bare feet planted on the ground and your head lifted. Breathe in through your nose, following the breath past your heart, lowering your diaphragm to allow your belly to stick out as you inhale and to sink naturally as you exhale. The deeper you breathe, the lower your energy level will drop. Start by bringing your attention to the center of the bottom of your feet, the source of your bubbling spring. Root yourself to the earth and feel the warmth coming up to you from your magma in the center of the earth. Following this energy up through your legs, your sacrum, spine, neck, the head. Then bring your awareness to the top of your head and draw in healing energy from the sun, which melts you from your head down. Feeling your head melt into your ears and face and neck, and your neck muscles melt into your shoulders. Let your shoulders melt. When you feel completely relaxed, begin the following exercise. Step 1. Harvest your inner potential. Bring your awareness to just below your navel, where your most powerful energy lives, in the lower chamber of essence where the uterus resides. Feel yourself breathing in and out through your chamber, as though your belly button is doing the breathing. Fill your belly and pelvis with the chi of life. Then extend the channel that runs horizontally along your hip bone like a belt and feel it as a shield protecting your body. Matman, yay! Awesome! Step 2, activate your chi, the microcosmic breath. Breathe in through your nose, placing your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Draw a golden cord of light through the microcosmic orbit. Begin at the perineum between your vaginal and anal openings and draw the breath energy up to your navel and chest to connect with the energetic point between your eyebrows and up to your crown. Release the exhalation down your neck, spine, and tailbone, scooping up the air with the next inhalation. Continue this form of breathing throughout the exercise. The internal smile. This smile is one you don't simply make with your lips. This is a cellular smile that enlivens your organs with appreciation, like when you gaze at a loved one. Send love and attention to each of your organs to encourage them to function optimally and help you find peace within. Aw, we should just all hug ourselves. Step 3, heal. If you encounter a blockage as you do this part of the exercise, allow yourself to feel it and move through it. To refine the pain into a source of healing, connect with and regulate each of the energy elements and its organ system through quiet reflection. The kidneys. Breathe into your source with the intention of opening yourself up to learn who you are at your core. As you breathe in, feel your kidneys in your lower back, tucked beneath your bottom ribs. Bring the warmth of your heart's fire down past your kidneys and into your chamber of essence to connect with the life-giving energies of the uterus. Feel into the depths of your being, your essence, your makeup, the home of your DNA, the person you are meant to be. Deep within, deeper than what you do in life, Deeper than the fear of not being enough lies your original divine gift. You consist of all that came before you, in a unique patterning of your life. Your DNA contains messages passed down from your ancestors that are always available to you. Think about places in your life that you are working and about what you would like to see more or less of. Think about what you have covered up in and need to expose to yourself. Acknowledge the latter gently and compassionately. Life can be hard, and all of us tend to withdraw at times. Breathe into your fear. See it for what it is. See that it has no power over you. Then release it from the safety and security of your own source. Feel the spark of the divine and listen to your inner voice, which will always tell you truths. The liver. The large, expansive liver, which is located under your right rib cage, branches out to purify, transform, and rid the body of all that is not helpful or useful. Bring your attention to your liver and visualize the color green, sprouting, growing, expanding, and generating. Think of a tiny acorn becoming a towering oak and the energy that requires. Now connect with your own power and reflect on whether there are any inner directives you haven't carried out. Do you have pain stuck inside that festers as anger or some other emotion? Have certain barriers prevented your growth? Are there situations you feel have caused you to stagnate? Do unfulfilled desires bind you up inside? Remember that denying who you find inside will not allow a solution to emerge. Locate any tightness and recognize how and where the frustration has produced tension in your body. Then feel how the trapped tension wants to get out. Breathe quickly and shallowly around it, hyperventilating until it is bursting with the attention of your own chi. Then let the tension rise to the surface of your body, moving upward and outward, and release it deliberately, even forcefully. Flail your arms, scream, stomp, whatever it takes to get the tension out. Never turn your appreciation towards the liver's ability. Not never. Next. I was like, what? Okay. Next, turn your appreciation inward to the liver's ability to transform the strength it provides you to achieve your goals. Connect with your deepest vision, your innermost dreams. See them clearly. When you connect with the power of your imagination, you unleash the power of inner transformation and allow your dreams to become reality. Breathe your own healing breath into your liver and feel the pressure release as the energy flows freely. Be grateful to your liver for all it does for you. The spleen. The earth energies of the spleen, stomach, and pancreas allow you to take in what you need to nourish yourself and release the rest through the bowels. The earth energies also represent the thought process, which can be ineffective when cluttered by constant thinking that doesn't produce action. Ask yourself if your thought process is clear and unhindered, or if it is weakened by worry. Do you obsess about what you don't have? To unclutter your thoughts. Getting dry. To unclutter your thoughts, bring your awareness to your solar plexus, midway between your breastbone and your belly button, where the earth energies are located. Focus on your center. Consider whether you are able to let in things that are good for you and nourish your body and soul, and if you're able to release things that don't support you. Breathe deeply into the middle of your abdomen, the home of your spleen and stomach, and focus on the breath. Fill your empty abdomen with earth energies and let them untie the knots of worry and obsessive thought. Release the thoughts and open up your center to let fresh, healthy nourishment in. Allow an internal vacancy that can be filled with fresh options. That's beautiful. Then take some deep breaths, cleansing breaths, and experience the state of openness and receptivity. Let thoughts come and let them go, like clouds passing through an open sky. In this state, like a magnet, You draw to yourself the focus of your intention. The lungs. Healthy lung energies represent the face you show to the world. They enable you to both form bonds with others and relinquish those that are no longer in line with your highest purpose. The lungs symbolize the solidified physical self at one end of the spectrum, rigid and confined, and the ability to decay, dissolve, and be reborn at the other end. Hildegard von Bingen said, The soul is for the body as the sap is for the tree. I love that. And the soul energies unfold as the tree unfolds its I should know how to say this word. Gestalt. Oh, yay! Awesome. Unfolds its gestalt. The lungs signify the return to the innermost self, the way a tree provides sap to its roots in the winter. To activate the lung energies, bring your awareness to the center of your chest. Feel the inward pull as your chest expands on the inhalation. Feel yourself being breathed in and out through no effort on your part as you breathe in the aroma of life. Bring your awareness to how your breath moves upward, representing the contraction of sorrow from your initial separation from the divine. Follow the movement to the center of your chest and then feel its contraction of individuation as it meets the heart's outpouring of love. This is the place where your separate self ends and you become one with the spirit of existence. Notice how your breath continues through you. To benefit from it, all you have to do is receive it. Feel the acceptance and embrace the breath of life. Feel the clear, crisp, cool white energy rush in and out with each breath you take. Feel the courage you receive by accepting and surrendering to every breath. Release each breath fully, opening yourself to receive again. Exhale fully, relinquishing everything that has kept you from expressing your highest good. The heart. The heart, the empress of the body, mind, and spirit, circulates pure, unconditional love through your body and connects your spirit with the spirit of the universe. The heart energies are passionate and warm, expansive and limitless, and when the heart is healthy, they radiate peace, love, and joy. To activate these energies, bring your awareness to the center of your chest. Feel the warmth of your heart and see how deep inside you can feel its beat. Now, expand the feeling and see how far you can project your heart's love outward into the cosmos. Continue to do this for as long as you can. As you project love, you honor yourself with the power of the spirit. So good. Step 4, liberate. From tapping into your unobstructed healing energies within, your body becomes more open, enabling you to become a channel for creation. To open yourself to receive your heart's warmth and your body's healing energies, go back to the center of your being, the chamber of essence. Picture your earliest memory of yourself as a baby. Breathe deeply into your source and meditate on the face of that child. See in her eyes the full potential of who she was created to be, before she received any messages about who she should be. This is your true self. Her essence continues your innate gifts, and her divine spark is your divine spark. She is the inner driver of your subconscious mind. Now, bring these gifts and dreams into your present-day self. Integrate the two parts of yourself and feel the life and the love. Receive, be grateful, acknowledge who you are. As the river accepts the raindrops and the ocean welcomes the rivers that flow to it, it is your nature to receive, for you are a channel of creation. Realize that you are a miracle and that by staying true to your true nature, you can live your greatest dream. All right. Yeah, we're almost there, and then I'm going to call this. Woo! Hey, this is great exercise though, right? For my mouth. And like I have been doing these crazy tongue exercises. And like I can feel it just from narrating. All right. Tina, a retreat participant, described her journey through the inner universe. Then began one of the most profound experiences of my life. It was so intense that it seemed to go to the very core of my being, my very life force. Suddenly, I was lying next to everyone in this circle, and people were all around me. But despite this, I felt the deep reality of how alone each of us was, or each of us is. As single souls, we enter the world, and as single souls, we die. The realization of this was so powerful. I understood that no one can be what I am or experience what I am feeling except for me, that each of us, although we exist alongside each other, has a personal and unique journey. The power of that feeling was overwhelming, as if a curtain had been removed from between my normal daily life and the profound reality of life. The truth was laid bare. It was that moment that I thought that in this lonely life, the most precious gifts might not be granted to me. I think for the first time ever, I really came to face with my fears, the fears I kept so tightly locked away. At that point, I welled up with tears so intense they were unstoppable. Sobs shook my body, rising from deep in the base of my stomach. But then a sort of withdrawal started to take place. An image formed as I faced my fears. Above me was a circle, a source, and behind me, the world and all that I hold dear. Over my shoulder, I could see and sense the green world, my dear, dear angelic husband, the dreams I had for my life. Amazingly, despite the fact that my hopes and my dear one was behind me, I was focused on the circle above. I kept repeating to the circle, bring me closer to you. Let me come closer to you. Take me to you. Dang it. I'm going to get this out after this. The intensity of my pleas grew to equal the intensity of my sobs and seemed to come from the same place, deep at the bottom of my stomach. But then I became overwhelmed by the realization that despite all my yearning, I didn't need anything or anyone, not even my husband, who is such a treasure to me. I gradually realized, like some sort of gift being handed to me, that the only true source of peace, comfort, and joy was the source above me. Everything else was a diversion, even an illusion. it was as it was as if I was moving towards a universal center and that all earthly things were behind me. Only my desire to move closer to the source remained. As I kept pleading to move closer, I realized that I wanted nothing else, just that. Everything that I had yearned for and that I had everything that I had yearned for and that I had and cherished seemed insignificant. Then, in the depth of the experience, I began to fear that perhaps I actually wanted to die. But I realized that this couldn't be because my heart was full of love and longing for the source above me. Afterwards, I remembered a saying by the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad: die before you die. I wondered if this was what I had felt. The experience had the feel of passing into a different realm of thought, different and intense emotions. In some way, a death like experience. It was an abandonment of everything that I held dear, which all seemed minor, almost illusory compared to the source. Through that understanding and that experience, I found my unity, my strength, my peace within. I became the healer I was looking for. Mandala making. The final step in savoring the inner journey is one of my favorite retreat projects, mandala making. Put on soft music, take a piece of paper, and draw a large circle on it. nearly touching the edges. Then draw a smaller circle in the middle of it that represents the earth. Then separate the large circle into 4 quadrants of the other elements, like the illustration below. Oh, my alarm's going off. It's time to meditate.
9:25 p.m.
I'll do it soon. Son of a gun. Where am I? Then draw a smaller circle in the middle of it that represents the earth. Then separate the large circle into the 4 quadrants of the other elements, like the illustration below. On a copy of the circle above, use paints, markers, pencils, or chalk to draw a pictorial representation of what you felt and saw on your inner journey to help you integrate your meditation into the creative aspect of your body and mind. Display your mandala on your wall or sacred space afterwards to remind you of your inner growth and change. Make a mandala each time you feel yourself growing and changing. The artistic process can access answers from deep within and show you the way. And then this chapter ends with a quote by Pablo Picasso. Painting is just another way of keeping a diary. Ha 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 ha. I love that. Dang, everyone. I love yous. I love you very much. I'm so thankful for the hangout tonight. I'm glad to get through more of this book. What a productive day this has been. Ah, holy tamale. I love you. I love you all. Yeah. So hey, I'm going to be back probably tomorrow after work sometime to finish that up. Yeah. Maybe this isn't the timer. I'll catch up with you guys in another live, and thank you very much. I enjoy this. I enjoy this immensely. So I'll see you for the last part of this book. And then we're looking forward to Illusions, The Adventures of a Reluctant Messiah by Richard Bach. It's one of my favorite books. Okay. Mwah. I will see you all very soon. Happy Friday. Happy weekend. Until next time.